Hi, I'm Carlotta Ambrosi, and today I'm going to be talking about moving past meat. Paul McCartney once said, "If slaughterhouses were made of glass, everyone would be vegetarian." I took the courage to look through that glass, and now I do not eat meat. The word vegetarian means a person who does not eat meat, fish, and sometimes other animal products, especially for moral, religious, or health reasons. I myself have been a vegetarian for almost a year now. I remember one day I was sitting on the couch going through an Instagram account called Animal Revenge. I came across a video of a cow being flipped upside down. I can still remember the way the cow screamed in pain and terror. I had never seen anything so horrible. The cow was just screeching with terror. That was when I swore I would never touch another piece of meat again. And to this day, I have kept that promise, not only to myself, but to those poor innocent animals who are screaming in pain as we speak. I've grown up in a house where eating meat isn't something we did very often. My mom has been a vegetarian since she was 16. Vegetarianism has always been an option in our house, but was never forced upon us. Being exposed to this lifestyle, in a way, shaped the person I am today. When I was a little girl, I knew I would someday become a vegetarian in the future. After watching the video that day, I began to search for the truth about what I ate. I was so shocked to see what truly happens behind the walls of the slaughterhouse. To realize that these animals are put through so much pain and terror to end their life is truly shocking. Animals arrive at the slaughterhouse after being transported for hours and hours and sometimes days in the most unhygienic, very cramped, and inhumane conditions. They've had nothing to eat or drink for over 24 hours. They're cramped in the trucks, in the cold, in the heat, separated from their young. They don't understand what's going on. When the truck finally stops, they think maybe it's for something to eat or drink. They're wrong. They're taken into a building they've never seen before. It has unfamiliar sounds and smells. It has the smell of death. It stinks of blood. Animals bred for meat feel the exact same pain and fear as our own pets. A cow, a pig, a chicken feel no differently than your own pet, your dog, your cat, your bird, your hamster. They all feel the same. Inside the slaughterhouse, there's a horrific noise. It makes the panic grow stronger. The animals are forced into the building by someone holding a stick that gives them electric bolts. Those who refuse to enter are hit, kicked, shoved, and dragged in, often resulting in injury. They watch, they smell, they feel, as one by one they're shot with a bolt gun. This does not kill them, it only stuns them. Within seconds, the poor animal is on the floor unconscious. Not every animal is as lucky as this one, though. The next one goes up. The stun gun fires a bolt to its head. This causes the poor animal extreme pain, but it's not over yet. It's hoisted up and hung upside down while it gets its throat cut. During all this, it's conscious. Around 40% of all slaughterhouse animals are not stunned effectively, meaning they are conscious throughout the whole process. There are pigs that are put into tanks, filled with steaming hot water and burnt alive. Is this really how we want to get our meat? Because this is a true story behind how hamburgers or chicken nuggets or pork chops end up on your table. But besides the inhumane treatment of animals, there are other reasons to go vegetarian. Did you know to produce 1 pound of meat, it takes between 2,500 and 5,000 gallons of water? In exchange, to produce 1 pound of lettuce, it takes 15 gallons of water. To produce 1 pound of chicken, it takes 815 gallons, or to produce 1 pound of tomatoes, it takes 22 gallons. But what does this have to do with anything? All this ties into your carbon footprint. There are 783 million people in this world who do not have water. With all the water that goes to the livestock industry, we could end thirst around the world. But this industry is not only affecting our water resource. The livestock industry is responsible for 18% of all human-caused greenhouse gases. By eating meat, you're causing more environmental damage than you're aware of. Beef produces 11 times more greenhouse gases than potatoes, rice, and wheat combined. One of the main causes of deforestation in the Amazon rainforest is cattle farming. People are cutting down trees in our most precious rainforest just to make room for our cattle. By cutting down and avoiding excess meat consumption, you can save over 6,000 gallons of water and reduce your carbon footprint. But cutting meat out of your diet also has its health benefits. A study done by the British Journal of Cancer of over 35,000 women shows that women who ate the most red meat were at higher risk for cancer than the ones who didn't eat as much red meat. Another study shows that people who ate around 250 grams of red meat, processed meat, or poultry gained more weight over 5 years than the ones who didn't, eat as much. Eating red meat also increases your chances of getting heart disease and hardening of the arteries. By cutting meat out of your diet, you reduce your chances of getting kidney stones and lower your cholesterol level. Cutting meat out of your diet is hard, I must admit. Our society caters to meat eaters, and especially in Argentina, where meat is a huge part of their culture. It's not something you can do all at once, and it takes time to cut meat out of your diet fully. Often when I go to parties, I can't eat anything, because the typical party food is hamburgers and hot dogs, and I often have to pick ham off the pizzas. It's not something you can do all at once, and it takes time to cut meat out of your diet fully. Being a vegetarian, you save around 30 land animals a year. If you multiply that by, let's say, 200 people, that's already 6,000 animals saved. We're 7 billion people on this planet, and yet every year, 56 billion farm animals are killed for our tables. 12 billion of those animals are wasted and go to garbage. That's an extraordinary amount of living creatures born to be wasted. An incredible amount of living creatures who did not get to live their natural lifespan. An incredible amount of living creatures whose suffering and death was completely unjustified and unnecessary. So next time you order steak, pork chops, or chicken, please stop a minute to think about what's lying there on your plate. Please think about how it got onto your plate. Thank you.